Hello guys, this is Fabio from Logic Pro 10 Tips. Today I would like to tell you that I'm launching a new playlist on YouTube. Of course, you know already the playlist called Logic Pro 10 Hacks, which was launched a few weeks ago. This playlist is dedicated to show you tips and hacks about functions of Logic Pro, hidden features like the MIDI environment of Logic Pro, things like that. So this playlist, which will be dedicated to the workflow of Logic Pro. But from today, I'm launching also another playlist called Cinematic Compositions on Logic Pro. And this one will be much more dedicated to share with you tips about how to create cinematic compositions or orchestral compositions with libraries like Spitfire Audio, East-West, so on. So in this playlist, I will share with you my workflow, my tips, and also we are going to talk about templates, how to be able to create efficient templates on Logic Pro linked to the orchestral stuff. So right away we are going to dive in the first video. And in this one, we are going to talk about the BBC Symphony Orchestra from Spitfire Audio. And I will share with you how to be able to link the individual articulations of this library to a dedicated track on your Logic Pro session or on your Logic Pro template. The statement behind this video is that a few days ago I was working on a very huge orchestral project, and at the end of the day, when my recording session was over, when I hit play to listen my stuff, I said myself that something's wrong, something is not the way I've recorded it. So I spent, I think, around 30 minutes to find what was wrong. And you know, at the end of my day, losing 30 minutes, and for a guy like me, time is money, so losing 30 minutes is very annoying. So after this 30 minutes of researching, track by track, what's going on, what's wrong, I found that one of my track was not linked with the proper articulation. My template, the way my template is built, is that I have one track per articulation. Why I choose that way of building my template is just that I want to be free to use separate reverbs or delays or pre-delays on every single articulation of my template. Why I'm doing that is to create separation, because sometimes, let's say when you are using violins once legato, the reverb that you will use on that particular articulation is not the same that on the violins one pizzicatos. That's why I want to have, let's say, the freedom to move like I want. So, as I said, at the end of the day, I've seen that the track called Violins 1 Legatos was not assigned to the violins one's legatos of my BBC Symphony Orchestra player, but to the violins one pizzicatos. So Then I said myself, I have to find a way to lock all those articulations per track in order to avoid in the future this problem. And I found a way, and I will share it with you right now. So here, as you can see, I have wrote a little piece of music for this example, and I will explain to you the philosophy behind all of this. First of all, here, as you can see, I have markers, and they are very important to stay organized, and also very important for the purpose of our video. If I select the first here marker, you will see it's marker number 2, and it's written BBCSO MIDI articulations. I will explain to you in a few minutes why I wrote that. And here I have the second marker number 2, where it's written the beginning of the piece. So that means that my piece of music is beginning there, not there. So why I have created this first marker here? Here, as you can see, we have those 4 regions, and those 4 regions are not part of my piece. There is a purpose why they are here, and I will explain it right now. So first, what you have to know is that the way that this VST is programmed is based on key switches. That means that all of those articulations, what you are seeing here, you can select them by clicking on it with your mouse. But you can select them also by hitting a dedicated key on your keyboard. Of course, those key switches are hidden. You can see them here now on your screen. So the order that those articulations are organized is important, because the starting point, the starting key of selection of your first articulations, which is here legato, is the key C-2. So if I come back here to my piece, I have my first track called Violins 1 legatos. So that means that they will be linked to this articulation. So if I open now my piano roll dedicated to this first region, as you can see here on the bottom of my screen, I have those note which is C-2. And if I close now this window, and if I select now the track Violins 1 long, and if I open the dedicated instance of Spitfire audio player, you will see that here I have the long articulation selected. But here, if I go there, you will see it's no more C2, but C-2, but C#-2. Why? It's just because of the key switches that I explained. Because now if I select those notes, and if I, let's say, move up those notes to now D-2, you will see that the selected articulation is no more long, but long CS. And if I go up, it's no more long CS, but flautando. So now I am selecting the long articulation by moving my note here. And now, if I close my piano roll and my VST window, and let's say if I come back there to this track, and if I open the dedicated window, and let's say that during a few seconds I'm losing my mind, somebody's talking to me, and I select long CS instead of legato. So this window is now closed. The only thing I have to do to be sure that the right articulation is played by the right track is just to reopen my global tracks to select my markers number 2 and to hit play. And now if I reopen this window, you will see that when I will hit play, there will be no more long CS selected as articulation, but legato. So let's do it. So once again, now let's say I will select pizzicato. I select the marker number 2. I hit play. As you can see, the problem is solved. So now let's say you will tell me, okay, but what if I put my locators there? Of course it will not work. So in that case, that's why I select always also the first marker within my locators. And if after that I have to do my export, let's say I have to export stems, personally I prefer to lose 1 bar, to have 1 bar of silence, and be sure that I have all my articulations linked to the right track here, instead of having problems. So this is only a way of workflow, a way of how you organize yourself, your mind during your session of working. So I hope this video was useful for you. It was Fabio from Logic Pro 10 Tips, and see you soon for another videos dedicated to cinematic composition on Logic Pro. Ciao, ciao!